Hey everybody, Scott here, the Poor Prepper. It's about 5 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, almost the end of February here in America. Today I'm going to talk about SARS versus the coronavirus. SARS coronavirus. Right now, it's been 7 weeks since China first admitted to the coronavirus existing. Guess what? It's still a bad situation in China. Here in America, there are more people infected here in America, but only one case of human-to-human contraction here in America. That was a spouse giving it to another spouse. Big surprise. Now, almost all the increases here in America have been because we brought contaminated people, that's the wrong way to put it, people who are infected with the virus over from a cruise ship in Japan. The Japanese would not let the cruise ship moor to a pier, so the cruise ship had to anchor. And you know what? A cruise ship is a great place to be quarantined on because you got the free beer, you get free booze, and free food. So that's not too bad, but still you're going to get tired of the same small room real fast. Now, let's look at SARS versus coronavirus. Coronavirus had the media is saying it has a 2% mortality rate. Now, those of you who can remember SARS back in 2003, and wow, where did SARS originate? Oh wow, China. I don't know. Just a wild ass guess here. Is China trying to invent deadly viruses? Is that what they're doing? Every 15, 20 years they try to they just let one fly just to see how it affects people? Because this is weird. Other than SARS and coronavirus, the last real pandemic was Spanish flu, 1917? That was a bad one. Now, the media is saying that the CDC and World Health Organization is saying that no, the coronavirus is not a pandemic. It could become, but it's not a pandemic. Remember, people, this many people have died in America. That number, 0, corresponds to how many people died in America of coronavirus and how many people died of SARS back in 2003 in America. Why? Our hospitals, our medical teams, all of our doctors and nurses, maybe they are the best in the world. Maybe that's why all the world comes to America. They leave their socialist medicine to come to America to get the treatment for cancer, to get all those operations. Me, I like to think that SARS is just as bad as coronavirus, but I'm wrong. Coronavirus has a 2% mortality rate. SARS, and people can Google this. There are stats out there from the CDC, and I went down to the very bottom. Total number of cases, total number of deaths, 9.6% mortality rate under SARS. 2% right now is what we're being told by the powers that be in our government for coronavirus. That's horrendously different. Coronavirus is half as deadly as the common influenza, yet SARS was more than twice as deadly. So people, I watch the media, I watch the news, and I'm getting disgusted the way the media is trying to create this ginormous panic. And I'm hoping none of you are panicking. If you are, stop. There's no need to panic now. There's no need to panic. Here in America, we don't have to panic. There's no need. So calm down. If you want to be worried and almost panicking, how about you take that energy and focus it and channel it into an action? Now, what is a good action? Simple. What if it were to become a problem here and a pandemic here? Well, it's simple. you're going to need to have a supply of food of 4 months for every person in your household. Don't forget your pets, dogs, cats, birds, whatever. They eat too. And my dog is she loves to eat, and she is a poop machine. Now, also you're going to need 4 months of water, because there's no guarantee the water system is going to stay on. Here in China, I shouldn't say here in China, the workers have a choice: do what the government says, or they will throw you into a gulag. That's the Russian word. I don't know what the Chinese word is for it, but there are 1 million Muslims in Chinese gulags, and I'm sure they know the word for it. But in China, do what you're told, or you go to the gulag. Here in America, if you're worried that you're going to get sick, if you're worried that going to work is going to expose you unnecessarily and you don't want to do it, you can stay home. Now, here in America, that means at some point, if enough people stay home, we could end up losing electricity, we could end up losing water. Hopefully that would not happen, but you got to be ready for it. You got to have 4 months of food for every person, 4 months of water for every person. Look at your toilet paper. Have you got a 4-month supply of toilet paper? Now, if you don't, think about, what are you going to use when you run out? Think about it. Now, some people might say a dish towel. Well, guess what? When the water shuts off, how are you going to wash your clothes and wash your toiletry? Think about it. Lay in a supply of toilet paper too. Lay in a supply of candles. Lay in a supply of oil for your lantern. In fact, go buy a couple lanterns. If you have one, buy 1 or 2 more. Lay in a good supply, because at night you might want to have that light just to create that ambiance or any kind of atmosphere you want to. Those are just the bare bones basics. Now, people might ask me, why 4 months? Well, think about it. It's been 7 weeks. That's just under 2 months, and it's still getting worse in the Wuhan city. That's a city. I want to say Wuhan province, but it's a city of 11 million people. That's about the size of New York City. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of city. And it's still getting worse there. It's not getting better. The number of cases keep going up. The number of cases are not coming down. So it's getting worse. And it's 7 weeks. Always assume the worst. Whatever it takes for China, if it's going to come here and be a pandemic like China, then you've got to assume it's going to be just as bad here and take just as long. Do you have enough food? Do you have enough water? Do you have protection? What if the cops decide they don't want to go to work? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to panic, take that panic, turn it to action, and turn it into making sure your family is going to be safe. If you got any questions, you can contact me at poorprepper13. That is poorprepper13 @gmail.com. Thank you.